Hey y'all, it's your girl Nelly D, and I got the one and only Drew with me. LOL, probably Drew, on his social media handles. Show him love.
Thank you so much. And I have, of course, the host of the Nelly Drayton Show, Miss Nelly Drayton herself, also known as @Nelly Drayton across all social media platforms. So please show her some love, y'all.
Absolutely. And we have a special guest with us. Somebody by the name of Ken Currington.
What's up? What's up?
Local creative. Had to get him on here. Y'all show him some love. Can you give us your social medias?
Yes, Instagram Ken the model. Period between each word. And my my Facebook is Ken Currington, and my TikTok @Ken Currington, all one word.
All one word on the ticks of
on the talks.
On the talks.
Yes.
Of tick.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, listen. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. We would like to say hey to the Spotify listeners and Apple, because
Apple.
we're on Apple now. That's
Apple.
a thing. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
So again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us on this journey on the Nelly Drayton Show, where creative souls gather to go beyond. We're going to get into some creative journeys today. You guys ready?
We're ready, baby.
Yes.
Let's get into it. So.
All right. So today we are getting into the different journeys that creatives endure. A lot of people, when they're finding themselves thrusted into the industry, there's a lot of struggles that come with it. There's a lot of hurdles. There's a lot of unspoken struggles. And we're going to get into that today because our guest here is somebody who is definitely hustling and grinding and doing the damn thing. So we're going to get a very fresh perspective on what it's like to go through a journey, a creative journey. So, sorry, anyway.
Sip the tea, sip the tea.
Sip my tea. So, you do modeling, you do acting.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like for you, especially here, because this is a local scene, so a lot of people probably minimize your work or minimize your efforts. So what kind of motivation do you need to keep going when, like, say you talk about one of your projects and someone's like, oh, are you doing that little project, that little thing?
I do not like
what
that.
do you do that keeps you going? Because that's definitely hard for me to hear.
It's passion.
Mm-hmm.
It's love for what I do. Like when I played basketball, even family would tell me, do you know the odds of making it to the NBA? Like, obviously that would be an ultimate goal, but
Right.
that isn't why I do it. I did it because it was a stress reliever and it's something that I genuinely enjoy doing. So even if somebody says, oh, you're doing that little project, and it's like, oh, you still work at that little job of yours? So you still got to ask when you can go use the bathroom and stuff like that. So, yeah, clapbacks be happening, but it's very, very, very rare that somebody will mention something that's, oh, you still doing that little whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as motivation, it's literally just passion for what I do.
Mm-hmm. So with passion, what is something that, like, because when I think of like a creative journey, I think of like peaks and valleys. You hear me say it all the time. There's peaks and valleys. So what's it like when you hit that peak where you're like, oh, here it is. Here's that moment. It's about to happen. Everything's falling into place. All my hard work is working out. And then maybe that doesn't happen for you.
So anybody that knows me knows that even when I get to that high point, I very rarely stay in it because I'm always thinking about what's like next up. I don't really give myself time to celebrate the moment. Something that I should probably do a little bit more often, but I'm always thinking about, okay, what can I do better? What's my next project? Instead of just relishing in the fact that, like, bro, you just literally just did this. So, like, take some time and enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
And I almost never do that. So even though when there is a peak, it's like, okay, I know I can get a little bit higher than this. So for right now, I'm trying to work on that. But as far as the peaks, it's literally just, I may enjoy it for a few moments and it's like, okay, I know that I can, the next thing is, it's like I can do this. I can be in front of a larger audience, or I can do a bigger project, or I can do more episodes, or whatever the case may be. So that's something I'm working on, but as of right now, it's like whatever's next time.
No, that's a word. That's a word because I think a lot of times some people are so quick to settle for something. Like,
Yeah.
I'm finally reaping the fruits of my labor. Like, this is it. This is like my moment. And it's like, well, no, if you like kind of look like, not to be about me, but when I took Taekwondo, my teacher would always tell me, like, you can hit any target. You just got to, like, look above it. And then you will reach whatever goal you wanted to. And that's a lesson in life. Like, if you want to reach something, just kind of shoot a little bit of, above it. That way, if you do land among the stars, at least you're there. You know what I'm saying? You could have been shooting for the moon, but you landed within the stars. So that's a good word, because as a creative person, especially somebody who is very passionate about what I do, I'm not gonna lie. If I hit a real nice peak, I'm gonna eat that up. I'm like, yes, I made it. But that's a good word. I needed to hear that, because there's more.
Yeah.
You should always. There's no ceiling when it comes to the work that we do. So you should always when you do hit a ceiling, open it up, baby. It's like
See, Matthew McConaughey had said something along the lines of, he's chasing himself 10 years from now. So he'll never, 10 years later, he's like, all right, now I'm chasing myself 10 years. So he never catches what he's trying to catch, but the fact that he's continuing to chase. So that's me. I never get comfortable, because if I do, then it's like everything else is kind of passing me by. Evolution will continue to be a thing. No matter what it is, things are going to get better, so you got to learn to be able to adapt. And that's I mean, again, I bring it back to basketball. If you look at it from when it first started to now, you didn't really see anybody doing a whole lot of 3-point shots in the 80s. But now it's pretty much what's all is taken now, but it's still the same thing. It's just different ways of how things are played. So another thing is with the movies that are out now, like the Marvel movies or superhero movies, period. Some directors don't like that because they feel it's taken away from the essence of an actual storyline instead of getting it from source material like comics. So it all depends on who you are and what your audience is. But again, you got to keep chasing whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to bring up the next thing that we were kind of talking about off of the cameras, your process. Because we always talk about the creative process here on the Nelly Drayton Show. And we talk about, what motivates you as far as day-to-day things. Like if you have a 9-to-5, is it being around like-minded people that really gets you going? Is it, I don't know, the conversation that you had with a hater at work and that done pushed you to write 2 short films. And you know what I mean? There's so many different life experiences and things that motivate you. So to be a creative, because who wakes up and we might wake up and just do it, but who wakes up and think, today's gonna be a creative day?
Well, it may start off that way, but then when it turns into a job, it's a whole different kind of waking up.
I think for me, so I do my 9-to-5. It's crazy because when I first started it, I loved what I did only because I get to help people. It's basically it's a patient assistance program where people get their medication for free. So I'm actually a part of one of those myself. But then I forgot you're dealing with people. So they're upset. They call in immediately upset. It's like, I'm not going to deal with this. And what is your name? I'm not telling you. It's like no, I'm not. Yeah, you can't even give to me what you're trying to call in for. So I'm not giving you any information. See how that works? So lady got upset. I hung up. I said something happened to my internet. But with the 9-to-5, nothing really from that job motivates me outside of it funds my dreams. That's the only reason I'm still there. And I'm literally just like, you got this. You got this. It's only for a little bit longer. How long? I don't know, but it's not going to be forever. But what really gets my process, get the process going is it'll be something random. And literally, and then how my mind works, it jumps from one thing to the next thing. I know I've got this great big idea, and it's like, how am I going to put this in the real world? How am I going to make this a thing? It's same thing with my paintings. I may think of something, or I may see something for instance, that Groot picture right there. I may see that, but I may not want to use Groot. I may want to use that background for something else. Then I have an image of whoever or whatever else that might be there because I love colors. So it's all right, I got that. Now, what am I going to add to that?
Right.
When it comes to wanting to act and or even model, it depends on character. So modeling for me isn't always about fashion. Like that's how I got in it, but if I'm being honest, that's the least like entertaining thing for me to do. I'd much rather do either cosplay or be myself and do something as far as it could be a cosplay photo shoot or it could just be me being me and wearing what I want to wear. And it's not necessarily the fashion itself, but it's the person. Yeah. So they say the person makes the clothes, not the clothes making the person. So that's how I do that. But as far as like acting, I know it also depends on what we're doing. Like we mentioned earlier, like my character in the film that we were doing, I really wanted to like dive deeper into that character's persona, his psyche and everything, but really didn't get a chance to do that. But I think that also dictates how my process is going to go as well. So like if it's somebody who's a gangster or if it's somebody who's superhero, if it's somebody who's, you know, soft and doesn't really want to do anything, who wants to be passive aggressive, or somebody who's just chill, laid back, whatever the case may be, like that's when I go into my process, my creative process, because now I got to figure out how am I like this person in real life? Like, in what ways can I connect? So that's how it is for me as far as like creative process goes.
Okay. I like that because I definitely, my thing is music. So I like that you said that some type of art with the background could be the thing or just anything. Your vision affects your creativity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sure. And when it comes out the way you see it in your head, isn't it like the best thing?
I know. I know.
My OTR series.
Oh my god!
Listen, every time I heard this song, what is the song called? It's Click and Diva mashed together for Beyonce and Jay-Z's On the Run tour. Every time I heard the song, I kept envisioning like just the same thing over and over. And so once I finally got to put it together, I was like, finally,
and then you killed it. I mean, I don't know how many episodes I'm going to say this, but you killed it. It was fab.
See, and that's just like, I can't express, it's, you know what? When you get the first cut into a piece of fresh cardboard, like that not cardboard, but like the construction paper, you remember that? To me, it was like, you knew nobody else touched this, and you the first one to cut it. It's like that. Like that's how I feel. Wow. It's just like, this is different. I'm doing.
I'm starting something.
You're right. And then
this
somebody
is mine.
Exactly. Somebody else is doing. Like I don't even care who else cuts this after. It's mine. I did it. The first cut's me.
Yeah.
Like that's how it feels. Like it's like the best thing. I remember with my clothing line, Phoenix, the very, very, very first shirt that came out, and I was at this fashion show. It's called the Al Natural Fashion. I think it was like 2019. And the person who did my clothing, she was like, "I got your shirt for you," and it came out exactly the way I wanted it to. And I just sat there. I was just like, "Oh my god! Like I'm gonna cry right now because this is it.
It's like your baby was born.
Yes, like this is what I see in my head. So it's the best feeling in the world.
Now, I'm gonna say something. You done plugged like 5 things.
Oh yes.
You said my paintings, the movie that I was in, my fashion. How do you juggle all the stuff on top of having a 9-to-5 job? How do you juggle?
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, but sometimes I might go from one to the other depending on what it is. I know some paintings like I'll hit a block and then like I can't really do anything. I'll have to step away from it for a few days. But honestly, I just love what I do. Like I can't. It's like if I'm sitting down and it's like, you know what you could be doing? You could be so
okay. No, that is a word. You know, because I have been like, get your word, get to work. Because I mean, it's like, come on, time is of the essence. Right. I don't like to put that pressure on myself because I really feel like, for me, like my creative process, it has to happen organically. Like it has to be what I want to do. It has to be how I want it. Like. Like when sometimes like that's why a lot of my friends they are not even a part of my process like at all, because it's like y'all you here and you're having a good time, you drinking, y'all smoking, whatever. No, I need y'all to it's time for me to get to work. No, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I think another thing that helps, like my girlfriend's also a creative, so I actually met her at a show, a fashion show. Well, auditions actually, and I came in as somebody that was supposed to help them in walk and because if that's one thing that I can say that I started off great with was my walk. Everything else I needed help with, like posing because I was awkward, like I didn't know what to do. But as far as having a creative person that you're with, that helps so much too. Because it's like, and even then she's like, hey, what are you doing today? Why aren't you up? And it's like, maybe you're right. It's like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And she's like, you don't overslept. And I'm like, it's 8. And she's like, what time are you usually up? I'm like, good point. So
we've definitely touched base on that, on like having a supportive partner and how important that is.
We touched on that. That's
we have
a previous episode. If you haven't watched it or listened to it, I'm plugging it in right now. We're going to wait for a second. We're going to wait for you. You go ahead. We'll be right here. Just go ahead.
We'll be waiting.
Did you go? Did you go yet? Are you still here? You're still here. Okay.
They probably don't have YouTube Premium.
Dang!
Oh, sorry. Oh, good.
It's the cup.
Don't feel bad. I don't either.
I eat that up.
I need to probably get that.
$16 come out my bank account. I'm like, it pays for itself. I love it.
Listen.
I hate that.
Come
ads.
back.
That might be the why. I hate the ads. That might be why I have to get it, man.
You have to. I can't. When people like show me like YouTube videos and there's an ad, I'm like, peasants. Wow.
I love that.
Oh my
Someone
God. I don't
has
have
EBT
YouTube.
card. You need your own. No.
I don't have YouTube Premium.
Then don't ever let me pull it up on my YouTube. Okay? Because I had no ads. We can fast forward. I can turn my phone off and it'll play in the background. I got you.
Or just hurry up and get through the ad first.
Yeah, before I see it, someone will be like, peasant!
All right.
Turn that off.
Okay. No, but having a creative person with you, I think you'd like her. She's bubbly. She's one of those people where like you, gosh, she's gonna kill me. All right, so imagine you meeting like a cat for the first time, and it's like, I don't know if I like you.
Ooh.
But you start to get to know it, and the cat's like the most affectionate thing ever. But to you, not to anybody else, because it doesn't know it, that's her. Oh. So some people be like, oh, your girlfriend's kind of mean. She's not mean. She don't know you. That's what that is.
I mean, but that's to be expected.
Yeah.
Though.
So some people like they'll be like, is she cool? Because that was the first time I saw her too. Like she has like the most stern RBF, and it's like, are you cool? She's like, no, I'm fine. I'm just like, oh, okay. It's
we talking a word. We talking a word.
That is
but as far as like she paints, she loves to do loves to take photos. Like even then, like some people are asked, well, are you getting paid for this? 'Cause we get paid for some of our stuff, but she's like, I don't care if I do or not. I love to take pictures. Like she'll go to a parking garage, take one of our ring lights and set it up, and she's doing her thing. So she'll always ask me, what do you need from me? And when she asks me that, I'm like, especially on the spot, I'm like, I don't know.
That's a weighted question, baby.
Right. Like I don't know.
Very weighted.
Put it on my list or something.
But like she'll throw out suggestions here and there, and then she gets me going. So
that's love right there.
But the processing part, like that's another part of that. But like she's definitely somebody who, as long with the creative process, that she helps. And sometimes like she really do get on me, like, hey, you should be doing this. And it sucks because it's just like, tell me what to do. But in my mind, it's like, God, you're right. So,
because she gets it. Like, it's coming from an angle that's not just, you're a lazy bum. It's coming from, you got dreams, baby.
And she knows. And that's like, I'll ask her all the time, like, hey, what do you think I could work on this and that? And she'll always give me positive feedback. But I'm like, all right, what do I really need to work on? And then she'll tell me. But even then, it's like, I think you're doing great. But in my mind, it's like, I feel like I can work on it a little bit better. So I'm always chasing perfection, even though I'm never going to actually be perfect. No. So that's just, I think that's like a gift and a curse, if you want to say.
But I think any person who like has creative energy that they exert probably feels the same way. Because I know, like, I am a perfectionist through and through. Like, if our second podcast content was great, but the audio was not good.
Ooh, I remember that.
The lighting wasn't, and we was like, nope.
Yeah, we was like, this ain't going
We
live.
can redo that. We can have that conversation again another day.
But the good thing about that, though, is the foundation of it. That source material, even though you said it was great, it was everything else around it. So you know that the only thing that needed to be touched up was the aesthetics, not necessarily the meat of it. So that's a good thing to have.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Absolutely. So you plugged in that you're a painter, artiste, or Pablo Picasso,
Oh my god.
Michelangelo.
Or-
Am I saying the right people?
I don't
You
know.
are actually, yes.
I'm saying the right people. The painters. You
Or
are a
just
part of
name
the
all the turtles, even that those are the
Leonardo.
yeah,
Michelangelo.
You all know the establishment here. Drew's plugged in.
Very.
I am not.
Very plugged in.
Y'all know I'm not. So you are a model. You are an actor. What is going to get you from where you are now to where you want to be as far as, what'd you say off camera, the favorite actor?
Everyone's favorite actor.
Yeah, everyone's
Like,
favorite actor.
Do you want to be everyone's favorite actor as far as like, oh my God, he has range. He was playing a homeless man in this movie, and then this one he's playing a freaking superstar, and then the superhero in this one. Like the range is like you can
Your
be
catalog will
the
be so
most.
colorful.
Yeah, you can play the smallest role, and people be like, "Oh my God, that's what's his name."
Yeah.
Is that what?
I want people to know me for who I am personally, and that's genuine.
Okay.
So my characters are going to be played in a genuine manner. So whatever that is, if that means range or if that just means like The Rock. I love The Rock. I love him, but his range isn't that great. But that's good.
He's
he
genuine.
sticks to what he's great at.
When you see him in something, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
It's an action movie.
A little comedy in
doing
it.
stuff.
Comedy, because he's genuinely funny. He's
So-
genuinely cool. That's what you mean.
So like if you see
I
someone, another one, Jim Carrey, like he's played a couple of serious roles, but
Yeah.
they're still funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only role I've seen Denzel play that was a little bit comedic was The Preacher's Wife. Anything else is like, all right, I love his movies, but
Yeah.
it's like, not to take anything away from him, but like when you say, oh, this person has more range than that person, I mean, that's cool, but
Yeah.
are they sticking to what they do best? Because if I'm going to step out of something, I need to make sure that I'm going to give you the genuine
It needs to make
me
sense.
and make sure that I can give you this performance. Otherwise, it's just like, he tried, and it's not. It was just Kendrick and doing whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I just want people to know and love me as in my work as genuine. Like, he really did put like his all into that. Even if it doesn't come out great, it's fine. It's just I know I put my all into it.
And the thing about like this work that we do is people read that.
Yeah.
Like, if you are doing like your genuine best, if you are like people give you credit where it's due, just because you are like being genuine. So. Because people, I'm telling you, people read that fake, like,
Oh, they do.
produced, overly
Absolutely.
produced. I can't
The
take it.
overreactions.
Oh my god, I can't take it. Like
or
I know,
the underreaction.
that too. Yeah.
like that's why I know we talked about TikTok one time. And he was like, "You gotta chill." I can't do that. Like no, because it's like no. If I no
no,
Nar.
no.
vibes. No, I can't take it. I like to see people and be like, even if it's like an acting like TikTok or like a reel on Instagram. If it's funny or I like people who like I can't
Just
get
stick
into
to
it.
what you
Yeah.
like genuinely like to do. Like and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, and if you decide to step out of your comfort zone, I would say practice it first to see if it comes off as something that you feel like you can do. But I know for me, it's literally just to be genuine.
Yeah. I mean, it
That's
just
dope. I like
pays.
that.
It just pays to be genuine.
Yeah.
You
And that
gotta
makes you
stand
a
on
good
that.
actor. Honestly, it makes you a more communicative actor because you genuinely just want to do great.
And you're probably
just
pulling from
genuinely.
something, which always emotes well on camera when you're pulling from
Absolutely.
somewhere.
I know. And to answer your other question, like what would get me to that point, dedication and consistency. I think the consistency part, especially, it's just like working out. Like some days, God, I don't feel like it. I'll get, but I know once I get up and get in the car, it's like, all right, you ain't got no choice now.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta
now
get
I'm at
there.
the gym, and it's like, all right. Now sometimes I'm like, you could just leave, and it's like, well, why am I here though? I'm already here. I might as well just do it.
Yeah.
So it's just on those days is when it's most important because that means that I force myself to get up, go work out, and it's like an hour and a half. Now you can do whatever it is that you said you wanted to do. The earlier you go, you get it out the way. Everything is going. Your metabolism sped up. Now your mind's going. So what can I do to continue to? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just I I really just want to be, like I said, I really want to be the best that I can be. And I know that me personally, I'll definitely be a lot of people's favorite actor off of that.
Yeah.
Because I know me, like, I'm not a terrible person. I've done terrible things, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm human.
Right.
But nothing in the aspect of where, like, nah, bro, like, he's trash. Like, I wouldn't want to talk to him at all. I wouldn't want to be around him. So, yeah, I've definitely been in situations to where I feel like if I really, really, really put my all into this, I would definitely be somebody's favorite actor. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I strongly agree. I do.
Me too.
As far as projects and things that you have worked on, you were mentioning a commercial or something with Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to plug all of everything that you... This is your resume.
Shout
this
it
is your
out.
moment right now
Yes.
to shout out your resume, what you've done, what's coming up, what you're thinking about doing. Plug all of that in now.
So, shout out to James Watts. He's definitely he's a local director. I've done a few things with him. God, there's a movie I was in. I can't really remember the name of it. That's terrible.
It was a blockbuster.
But I did do a film with Sensual Bliss, where I played a stripper. I was a doctor. Now, I didn't take off all my
Come on,
clothes.
layers. Come on, layers. Literally, layers.
I didn't take off all my clothes. I just had on I just took off the jacket and just had like all just my chest and everything showing. But it got to the point to where it looked like I was about to strip, and then we cut. So I never did actually do anything.
You know what? I'm just gonna... Sorry for the Spotify and Apple listeners. If you come to the YouTube channel, you'll see at this point that I was a little bit flabbergasted. Flabbergasted, however you want to pronounce it. I was all of the versions of that word.
So he was like, I'm a stripper and a doctor. And I was like, yes, backstory.
Listen, Drew's like, yes. And I'm over here like,
I love a
That's range.
double entendre.
but
Come on now.
that's range.
Love
That's why I was
that.
like,
There was
you're like,
another.
oh, I don't.
There's another short film that where I played like this deaf guy. It's one of those films where it's like I think it was meant to be kind of frightening, but then when you see the end, it's like, oh, so it's basically just me chasing this girl because she dropped her phone, but because I can't speak or hear, it's like, so
come on,
yeah,
That's good. I might
so
have to check that out.
when we finally get to the end, like she's panting, she's just like, oh my god, and I'm like giving her phone, and she's like, thank you, and I was like, can't hear.
Oh,
So
I love that
but you're
stuff.
welcome, and I just walk off, and she's
I
that's good.
So
That was
that was now you know what I don't know. It's a whole lot of things I don't forgot I've been in. And then the commercial was actually early this year. It was on for Hulu, and it was just a take. They said that they didn't know if they were really going to use it or not, but I did it, and it felt great one take. But I'm not gonna lie, I was over there practicing.
I had it down.
And I was like, I'm gonna make sure I get this in 1 or 2 takes. And I did the first take, and the lady was like, I don't think we need
But
to say
see,
anything.
they remember stuff like that. They that stuff makes an impact.
Yeah,
Yes, it
and
does.
I did that. Also, I told you about the billboards. So
Yes.
I'm in every county in Kentucky. I'm in the driver's license, like the DMVs. I'm in the county clerk's office. But this is something I didn't even know that was going to happen. Like it was for Donate Life for Kentucky. It was for people who donate organs, organ tissue, and retina donations. So I'm a liver transplant recipient, and that was the reason why I was asked to do some of these photos, but I had no idea they were going to be plastered everywhere.
Right.
So I remember the first one I saw, I think it was on like 15 and something. And they took it down, but there's still others that are literally still across Kentucky. And to see my face on billboards like that, people are hitting me up like, "Hey, this is you," or
Crazy.
have you seen this? Like, there's this one in the courthouse. I haven't seen any of these except for the one that was on 15th, and everybody's like hitting me up like, "I knew this was you." And then when I say that I know this person, they're like, "Yeah, right." It's like I think it's so cool because it's like, wow, like okay, people just hit me up saying that. So it's the billboards is cool. The short films are fun. The commercial is fun. I just did a photo shoot it was like 3 days ago. I'm sorry, for Kentucky Tourism, and that was something that I really wasn't expecting to get. But from when I was in LA, everybody said I had a great look. Now the only thing that I wish I would have did differently was one, made a resume, because I didn't realize how extensive mine is until saying it out loud. And then an actual portfolio. Now, the portfolio I did have needs to be updated, but that's something that I felt that anybody who's looking to be an actor, model, whatever, you want to make sure that you always have updated pictures. So that was on my part. I messed that up. But they were like, if you can get back to us with some things that you've done, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a single call back. Not a single one. I think there were like 20 something agencies there, and that hurt. It got to the point where I was like, yeah, this ain't it for me, maybe. I don't know. So it sucked because it was one of those where it's just like, I could have did better, but you didn't. So what now? Do you want to continue to do this? Or do you want to just sit back and be like, well, I was an actor like 30 years ago. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy.
I'm an actor. Here's a commercial that I did for like tampons. I'm not even a woman. Yeah, no, nobody wants to be that person. No.
Yeah, and then also in this line of work, age doesn't really matter. Like if you're an athlete, there's something different. Like you have a timeline that you know where you can 18.
They're counting down the moment you graduate college.
Oh, absolutely.
Or if you even graduate college, some people get drafted right out of high
You know,
school.
in the NFL, 25 is like a veteran. Like it's old.
Yeah. Sports, man.
Yeah.
Well, because first of all, your body deteriorates rapidly, especially when you're like constantly, because they're playing like 3 games a week. And then in between that, they're traveling. NBA, they're like traveling the whole time. So, I mean, you're like putting your body down season. You're working out. Your body deteriorates.
And you got back to back, so that you have one game and like.
You're out there kickball. I'm still feeling it. From last week, it's almost been a week.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, hold on, y'all people do it.
Oh my goodness, that is true. Oh, I might plug in Post Nelly. Maybe if you feel like it, looking forward and everything, put in the clip of me and Drew while he was playing kickball.
Guys, I'm back. I'm about to do a quick interview with someone that you guys know. If you don't know him, you're gonna know him for sure. I'm about to scare him. We've already saw him, but we're gonna do a random pop-up real quick and scare him again. Oh my God, Drew. Oh my God, I have heard so much about you. I know that you play kickball and you're also the co-host of the Nelly Drayton Show.
That is correct. Girl, I was like, who just ran up on me, baby? Did you see my face? I was like,
I don't know. I don't think I did. I was just like, I was like, I'm gonna scare him real quick before we leave, but I wanted to.
so silly.
It's the actress today.
Yes, I am the co-host of the Nelly Drayton Show.
Out here playing kickball.
I'm over here being a star athlete. I'm voted hottest kickballer.
MVP?
Well, not MVP, but hottest kickballer. No, I was close, but not
Close,
quite.
not close enough.
Not quite.
Oh.
Thank you for coming out and supporting me.
Here. Listen, I tried my best.
When I lost the tournament.
They don't have to know that, Drew.
Girl, I'm going to tell them. I ain't got no trophy to prove that I won.
That's a good point.
Yeah. 'Cause I would be bragging.
Wow.
I was over here like, you ain't gotta tell me, but then when you said that, I was like, yeah,
They gonna be like, how you celebrate it? I didn't. I went and got drinks at the bar.
that's one thing about
disappointed.
sports. It's either you're gonna drink to celebrate or drink to pain away. It's
Yeah.
just one of the. You're gonna drink.
Yeah.
but-
Drinking was gonna happen
Right.
at some point in the day.
Aye.
She's like, oh, I don't want to just fight.
No, yeah, absolutely not. No, I might do the volleyball thing, but that's another conversation for another day. So before we shut it down, I want, if you're feeling comfortable too, I want you to break down the health stuff and if it's been causing like limitations to your dreams.
So, I got it'll on the 29th. Actually, it'll be 6 years that I received it, but it's helped in a lot of ways. One, it did take away basketball from me because I didn't get my transplants. I was 27, and when I was at University of Louisville, I was going in as a walk-on. I was trying to earn my scholarship, and Coach Pitino absolutely loved me, but I had an enlarged spleen with an enlarged liver, and that was like, yeah, we can't do that. Which is understandable. I was a liability, and if I got hit the wrong way in my spleen, it would rupture 5 minutes, unless I'm in the hospital when it happens.
Yeah.
So that was like a gut check for me because even if I didn't make it to the NBA, I wanted to be a Cardinal. That was my thing. I grew up Louisville, was everywhere. I had no choice but to be a Cardinal fan. So that's what I wanted to do. So it was like after it was like, well, we can't do this. I didn't know what to do. I had stopped drawing well up to that point. To be honest, I didn't even know if I could still do it. I just was like, okay, I don't know where to go from here. And so when that happened, I was in a relationship at that time. She left. Then I ended up getting really, really, really sick. And that was when I ended up having to be medically induced in a coma. I ended up it was a main vein and the varices veins in my esophagus. They all burst at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
So I had what was my blood pressure? I think it was 60/30.
Oh.
And they were trying to keep me from having a heart attack and a stroke.
Oh,
so I remember it vividly too. Oh my God. It was like, was that Jewish? I remember this lady, she still works there. She gets lip fillers and she was all in my face like, you're going to be okay. And I don't remember actually saying anything. I know my grandmother, my mom told me that was like, yeah, you looked at her like, why are you in my face? like what is that? And so
Them fillers on your face.
but I was making jokes. While I was in there. So an ex-friend of mine came in and she was like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm all right. And as I'm over here laughing, she was like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, cuz, I mean, if I'm trying to lose weight, this is the best way to do it. As I'm vomiting blood into these things. So she's looking at me like, I don't think it's time to be joking. And I'm like, I ain't know what else to do. So then I'm asking, I'm like, where are my car keys? Where's my phone? And then my homeboy was like, where do you think you're going? I'm like, well, I need to make sure my keys and stuff are straight. So then finally I started to kind of go in and out. And then the craziest thing was when I was induced, I still heard and saw everything. I can't for the life of me explain it, but I'm going to try my best. So being in a coma, you can still hear what goes on around you. Now, when I could differentiate what was real and what was a dream, what seemed real was my dream. What was outlined in green and kind of looked like an after image when somebody moved, that was real. And I remember the beeps, I remember the conversations, the laughing. I woke up after they, took me out of it, and I was like, do you guys remember somebody with a Russian accent? And my mom was like, oh, that was me. I was messing with you. I didn't know if you could hear me. And I'm like, yo. So from that day forward, I think after that, and then of course after the transplant, because they said that that made the transplant easier because of that main vein. It could have burst on the operating table, but it didn't. So they said it was a breeze, 10 hours. I don't know how 10 hours is a breeze, but they said it was, so I'll take their word for it. But I immediately felt better. So I wanted to go out and do better. I was like, I want to go out and do something. I don't know what to do, though. I just know I want to do it great. Yeah. And then that's when so-called friends left. I didn't really have anybody else. Like the ex that was there found out that she was doing some shady things right after we broke up. And I was like, wow, okay. So what do I do? Later on, I think it was in 2018. It was not even a year later. A friend of mine was like, why don't you just do a photo shoot to be more comfortable with yourself, with your scar? And I was like, whatever. It's, because I hated it. The scar was like, I'd never seen it there. It's like, it's huge. I don't know what to do. This is ugly. What am I going to do now? I did a photo shoot, and then that's how I got into modeling. Everybody was like, hey, what's that? That's cool. Can we take a picture of it? So I was like, all right. So every time somebody saw it, it was a conversation starter. So I'm like, all right. What can I do now to make sure that I can stand out? There's a million different guys, light skin, 6'2", hazel eyes. Now,
6'2", I got hazel eyes.
Now, what would make me stand out was my scar. So I was like, I need to do something. So, and then I ended up growing my hair out because I never let it really grow. I never let my beard grow, and I didn't know if it was because I was sick or because the girl I was with at the time just didn't like when beards started to grow. And she was like, that's ugly. So I was like, all right, I guess I won't grow it. But from that point on, I knew that I'm meant to do something better. So I took that as, this is my second chance. This is my rebirth, Phoenix, which is where I got that from, because this is my second life. This is the second half of my life. First 27 years, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Childhood, all that. But now I need to know, what am I going to do to better my life and those who I love who are around me. So that's when I decided to really take modeling serious, which was in 2019. I'd always wanted to act. even when I played basketball. But what better segue into getting active in modeling? So
Yeah.
I
I
was
mean,
like,
they usually go hand in hand.
exactly. So I was like, I want to do this. This seems fun. It seems like something I really think I can get into, which was the modeling. Because once the acting started to come, I was like, yes, okay, what characters can I play? What can I do? And I was a little overexcited at times, but I was just happy to have somebody think of me and want me to be in a position to where I could showcase my talents. So if I'm being honest, the transplant was the best thing to happen to me outside of saving my life. But it was, I could do more things. I have more energy. I have real goals that I feel like I can attain and not have to worry about, am I going to die tomorrow? So that was the biggest thing. Once I got to the point to where I knew, I think they said after a 5-year period, like if nothing happens, then you're golden. Well, it'll be 6 years for me. So,
Come on.
so yeah, that's I call it my rebirth day. So I treat it like a birthday, except I don't go out drinking because you get a new liver.
Yeah, don't you ain't gonna mess with the new God.
Right.
That's right. No, for real.
You
But
gotta let the seeds be
I
easy
do celebrate. So I'm really grateful that I'm still here. I'm really grateful that I'm still out, being able to make new friends, meet new people. And I ultimately feel like my goal here on earth is to inspire and motivate. Because anytime I tell anybody that story that I've gone through as far as like the physical part was great. Like I got through it. They actually told me that that I was above schedule. Like, well, Dr. Jones, my surgeon, I think it was his nurses or something, they called me the Wolverine because like I shouldn't have been healing as quickly as I did.
Get the vibranium. Meg, watch out.
But
you know what?
but no, I was supposed to have done like 4 to 6 weeks of physical therapy. I was supposed to be in the hospital for like maybe like a month and a half or something. I was there for 7 days.
You better come on.
I was walking my third. I needed no physical therapy.
Come
so
on.
From that point on, I think that's when you asked me like what would make me what would I want people to love me for? Now it's that genuine part, because genuinely I'm strong, genuinely I'm emotionally available to whoever, whenever. I've had issues where I didn't really know how to say things, or just because I'm trying to protect a person's feelings the whole time, it's like you should always tell them the truth, even if it does hurt. So I've learned that over the years, but in a sense, I'm always going to be me. Deep down inside, I'm always going to be genuine. The energy, the vibe that you get from me when you first meet me will always be, okay, he's cool.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I don't even I almost started singing it.
Sorry.
You know what?
You might as well now. It's.
I don't like.
Sorry. Oh.
I just don't. I don't jigs with it. Sorry. Na 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 na. Can't get jiggy with it. So anyway.
No,
but
fabulous story.
Love it.
Very inspiring. Very inspirational. Very motivating.
Yeah. Get my eyes together.
Because I was.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The first time this is actually where I haven't actually tried to like tear it up, but and I have to say that moment in my life, that it was crazy. Like I remember everything that happened leading up to the bleeding out, the waking up out of surgery. I do remember asking my grandmother for her phone, because when I woke up out of the coma, they still had the tube. I couldn't talk. I remembered that. I asked my grandmother for a phone, so I just pulled up the messenger and I'm over like, hey, how did it go? So all the doctors are like, we ain't ever seen that. And I just remembered from last time I couldn't talk because of that thing in my throat.
So ready to come up out of there.
No,
and they were like, I said, how did I do? How long was it? When can I leave? When can I eat? And that was another thing. And when my doctor said, you can have whatever you want and as much as you want for the next, I think like 3 months, because he said your liver's going to need that. And your metabolism is extreme. It's sped up now. That was the best thing, because I couldn't eat a lot of the stuff.
That sounds
beforehand.
so fun.
That is like a dream, man. That is a dream. Somebody say, eat whatever you want for 3 months. I say, I needed the green light.
Look,
that's all I needed was.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it was also because I couldn't have a job at that point and everything. I ended up getting food stamps. I'm like, hey, look, we ain't gotta spend no money.
Oh
so,
my God.
Look, let's go to the store. Let's go. Granny, you want something?
No, for real.
Look, I should have known you then. Hold on, I got something I want to add to that list.
Y'all, listen. I loved every bit of your story.
Thank you.
I love it. Are all hearts and minds Cleared?
I'm clear. My cup is empty.
Cup is full?
I'm cleared.
Your cup is empty.
It's empty. I've been sucking on it.
You feel like you're good? You feel like you got a lot off your...
I did.
That's good.
If I may add one more thing, people who, whatever it is, whatever creativity, a creative thing that you are chasing, continue to do so. My biggest thing is that I feel like if I give up, my blessing's literally right around the corner. And I will be absolutely upset, pissed, if I know that my dream was right there and I decided to give up because I'm tired or for whatever reason. So continue to go. You're going to find it. Even if it's to the last day that you're here on earth, you're going to find it. Because if you don't, you're always going to have that what if, or I wonder if I could have. And then you're going to be that old person, that old head. It's like, man, back in my day. Nah, I ain't trying
Back
to
in my day.
Right. So just continue to chase, continue to love what you do. And on those days that you don't feel like doing anything, do something anyway.
Yeah.
Get yourself going.
Absolutely. I
Fabulous.
liked it, loved it, and want more of it. Ken Carrington, ladies and gentlemen. Post Nelly, put some applause right now. That's my gentle reminder. Come on. We liked it, loved it, and want more of it. I'm going to put his social medias. It's going to be somewhere in here. Show this man some love. We thank you so much for coming on the Nelly Drayton Show.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad.
Absolutely. This is the Nelly Drayton Show, where creative souls gather to go beyond. We'll see y'all next time.